Very good, especially with the guys returning. We know what we get with those guys, which is one of the reasons we wanted to keep that core, because they've been there, done that, and I think that'll hopefully help us to start the year. I know coming into year 3, this is my 3rd season, it feels more comfortable than ever in terms of obviously them knowing me knowing them, and the way that we do things, and I would say their ability to pick up things and get back into season form has been a lot faster than years prior with the returning guys. Very, very pleased, physically very pleased. Today we tried to really focus on the technical side. Yesterday was more entry day. Get them playing, get them back to the ball a bit, start to build the physical foundation. Today we focused more on speed of play, just to start to get them thinking quicker, playing quicker. Attitude was great, mentality was great. I thought there was a lot of pictures today that were positive. Got a little too fast at times, which meant it was sloppy, especially for the new guys. That's a big transition. When you go to a higher level game, it's less about the running and more about the thinking, and so that was my message at the end of training, which is a good message for our returning guys too, because last year there were games where we let the game get away from us, and we tried to, instead of managing it the right way, if you remember Toronto, right, we unraveled a bit and panicked and started chasing it. So I think the big thing at the end of the year is we were much more patient, managed the game better, when to speed it up and slow it down, and I think that's a huge part of winning is knowing when to rest, reorganize, slow the tempo. We play so fast, and these guys are honest, and they want to win, that sometimes I think we get a little bit reckless. So that was a good little today. I thought it wasn't really the returning guys, but the new guys made it reckless at times. So it was a good message to kind of be able to reinforce. That's something we got to remember this year as well, and how we kind of manage the ebb and flow of a soccer game.
You talked a lot last year about how it was one of a really difficult part in your coaching career and a big learning experience at the beginning of the season. Taking what you learned from last year into this season, has you been able to make adjustments, or has that kind of impacted how you as a coach have approached preseason?
Well, I've always my entire coaching career, which I'll turn ironically 40 next month, so I'll turn 40 in the 40th year of the Timbers. I was born in 1975, right up the road, Tacoma. So I think that's interesting. But I'm a young coach, but I've been coaching a while. But I've always been reflective, which is why I hope to in my career continue to grow and make changes. And you got to grow with the game because it changes, but you got to know yourself and what things you need to correct and balance out. Whether that's changes with you or your staff, and people that can balance you. The biggest thing for me last year was just experiencing more lows than I ever have. So in terms of reflecting and analyzing and changing, that's never been an issue for me, and I always try to do that if there's things to correct. But I think the biggest thing was just being in more low moments where you gotta pull yourself out of it, pull a team out of it, manage you guys, all that stuff, dominate your emotions and stay on track. So for me, you can say you're good at that, but until you go through it, you don't know if you can manage it, and so I know now I can manage that, and we pulled the team out of it, and you look at the end of the year, we didn't. You look at other teams, they didn't. So we didn't make the playoffs, but it was a real positive for me, the team, the evolution of this club, knowing that we can go through that and still, in all honesty, we should have made the playoffs. We didn't, but ultimately I think it was still positive. Specific things, For me, it was massive too. Just kind of, again, year 2, learning this league, learning what works, what doesn't work, learning these guys. For me now, year 3. Not that I didn't have it figured out after year 1, but a lot more knowledge, wisdom after year 2. So there were some mistakes that maybe I made in trying stuff that now I won't make again, because I know it doesn't maybe work or translate. Doesn't mean I won't try new things. That's a part of coaching. But you got to know this league and what works. And you look at the coaches that stay in this league, they got a sense of what works and what doesn't. Very pragmatic with that. And so I feel like, above all else, now going into year 3, I had a much better sense of what works and what